everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and today I am doing a walkthrough of this gorgeous deck called the Tarot of Trees. Now, while I just haven't had this very long, lovely Mr. Alex had sent this to me. I have had the app for quite some time. I feel like it's been quite a long time I've had the app, and I absolutely love the deck. And I did not rip this open. It was like this. Don't think I like viciously ripped it open and destroyed it. I know that you can, at least in the past, you could get boxes like this, and it would, you know, she would sell them for cheaper. Now, before anybody has a fit, these decks are not currently like on her website being sold or on the Etsy shop is being sold. However, I didn't have any problems finding these on eBay. There was one eBay thing I found that was like $25, and there were like 10 of them. They were new and unopened. They don't seem to be difficult to find, so I decided to go ahead and do a walkthrough of it anyways, as well as there are some people who like apps, and you can get the app for this. In fact, well, let me show it to you so you can see this. Obviously, I know that it washes the color out, so don't take that as an indication of this, because it is actually really vibrantly colored. You can look at all the cards, you can do a draw. It has a journal mode for journaling, like all of the tends to have. Let's see if it has the draw a card, explore cards. Okay, so there is the High Priestess. You can flip it over and you can see the bit, and then you can look and you can see the full text. So I think there's probably more than that here. Let's take a look. So let's see the High Priestess. We're going to look at the book closer, but I just want to see if this is the whole text on. Okay, this would be also for some people. Let's see, High Priestess, will you eat the fruit? The High Priestess, Wise Mentor, the Moon indicates secret knowledge, the situation hand may call for substantial energies, discretion and intuitive knowledge. It's pretty, wow, the Magician is about revealing, is about hidden. It's a little bit, a slightly change in text, but it's pretty much the entire text here. So I know there have been people who haven't been able to get a hold of this book, which is stunning, but we'll get back to it, but pretty much all of that was right here. So that's good to see. That you can do that. So here's the book actually, Tarot of Trees. Introduction, why trees. Yeah, I mean, this looks pretty much like the guidebook. So that's another thing. If you don't have the book, you can get for $3.99 or so. These are generally, I don't remember how much I paid for this because I've had it for a while, but it's usually these are usually $3.99 to $4.99. You can have the whole guidebook and access to the cards in your phone. So if you can't get the deck, you can use the app. If you have the deck and don't have the book, you can get the app. So either way, that would be helpful, however you may look at it. Alex also sent me this gorgeous dark piece of rainbow fluorite, and look how perfect that is for it. Definitely has been claimed by that. So it comes in a tuck box. You know, obviously it's a pretty sturdy one actually. This just kind of got eaten up a little bit, but it's actually a pretty decent little tuck box. It's not too flimsy. It's holding its shape well. It's really not a bad little tuck box to have there, but it is just a tuck box. You know, nothing to really write home about. The cardstock is very glossy. But it is about playing card size. I want to say it was just slightly, yeah, it's about, I would say it's a poker playing card. That's a Lenormand card, which generally is slightly thinner, but yeah, that would be about the size of a playing card. fantastic size I am finding for certain spreads. So this is just the artist card, you know, thank you for your purchase of it kind of thing. But it is quite glossy, I will say. But look at that backing. How gorgeous is that? It is reversible. You can't tell either way, but it's a stunning backing. It's certainly high up there for a favorite backing of mine. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put that to the side. There is an extra card, which in terms of the guidebook shows up at the end. So I'm going to put that at the end for right now. But there is an extra card called Regeneration. Let's just see what that says. Now you can see the guidebook is gorgeous. Both the major and minor arcanas have a page for each card in this beautiful purple book. The image is actually larger than the card itself in real life. And yeah, and you have sort of a description and then a meaning here. So let's just read Regeneration, because this is an extra card. The sacred light in the land flows through the roots of the tree. Well, here you can see the picture right there, can't you? Except I have to tip it so I can read it. We are living in times when so many of us feel powerless about systems of exploitation, oppression, and destruction beyond our control. With the trees themselves, we witness delicate ecosystems and forests being destroyed for profits. As much as this situation and so many like it, they make us feel powerless. Regeneration sends a powerful message. Nature has an incredible power to heal from her wounds and to help us heal from our own. It is in the union of human and nature where the powerful and potent healing can happen, and that is the work of regeneration. This card encourages you not to dwell on the things beyond your control, but instead focus your energies on your immediate surroundings and the things you can directly affect. We all have the power to regenerate life, love, and happiness in our lives. Note, regeneration is a card added to the 3rd edition of the Tarot of Trees and is not part of the standard 78 card tarot. So there you can see, you get a nice bit about each card. I'm going to go ahead and they have it listed at the very end, so I'm just going to set it in the back at the end while we take a look at this gorgeous book. Let me zoom in here a little bit. There we go. Look at this beautiful book. It is a nice bound book, you know, typical book with images here. We have a nice table of contents for everything. Beautiful purple paper with this kind of, you know, curlicues and, you know, that kind of, I guess we need to zoom out a little bit more. There we go. You know, just kind of detailing here. Again, extra images. Talks about, this is kind of the artist, and you're kind of having a discussion with the artist in the introduction. Talks, you know, so there's all these extra images here that are quite beautiful. Talks about the Tarot Trees as a tarot deck that interprets the 78 traditional cards through the theme of trees. You'll not find any people in this deck. You are the person, the one who works with them. And that they were developed through a series of extensive meditations and work closely with trees over a 3-year period. The minor arcana are season-based and also have a color scheme appropriate for the season. The cups in spring, the wands in summer, the swords in fall, and the pentacles in winter. Now I swap winter and swords, pentacles and swords, but again, if it's very clear in the deck, I can roll with any, you know, there's so many different expectations there. It also talks about Awen, or the spark of inspiration, which is something that you read about if you read about Druid things. So a core concept in Druid spirituality is Awen, which is, well, Awen, I just always say Awen, a divine spark of creativity, inspiration, or illumination. Inspirations for this deck began with my studies with the Ancient Order of the Druids in America, AODA, and the Order of Bards, Ovids, and Druids, OBOD. So that she goes on to talk about that, talk about why trees. So lots of symbolism in the trees in spirals. So it talks about the tree of life concept, talks about spirals, it talks about growth and longevity, so forth and so on. She's decided against including a card reversal meaning in this book for several reasons. Not everyone who reads tarot uses it. When she reads reversals more intuitively. So it can be used. And it's a sign that something might just be off. She also has layouts. This is saying you can use any layout, but here are 2 layouts. Mind, body, spirit spread, where you have mind, body, spirit, current state, suggested actions, and possible outcomes. We'll probably give that one a try. And a daily divination, where you look at the past, the current situation, a suggested action, and the expected outcome. These are ones in which I probably would mix it up. I have a very hard time not having the past be here. The current situation over here doesn't really work for me, so I would probably change this to probably the past, the current situation, expected outcome, and a suggested action. But that's just how my brain works. But I think we'll give this one a try at the end of it. Talking about making incense recipe that is supposed to go with this deck. It kind of goes this whole parts in which so you can make your own incense to go with it. Talks about planting a tree, and then it goes into the card meanings. And as I said, you have a beautiful, larger than life, full color representation. I don't know how I got the Fool or the Magician out of order. You have a larger than card illustration of the card. You have a kind of description of the card, and then you have a meaning of the card. And you have that for all of them, all the way through to the end. Very beautiful book. Really is a gorgeous book. Vibrant colors, really well done. I'm quite impressed with that book. I didn't even know there was a book, and I'm quite impressed with it. So let's zoom in and take a look at these cards. Again, I said I've done quite a few app readings with this. There we go. And, you know, I just love this deck. It's trees, and it's bright and cheerful, and the colors are gorgeous. What's not to love? So here we have the Fool, a young sapling at the edge of a cliff. So you get some of that traditional imagery. I believe this, from what I can see, this follows pretty much, you know, basic Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. Although I really like that the minors have a pip feel to it. You still get the feeling of the card meaning, but there are pips, so it kind of frees it a little bit more than some to be able to kind of go with your interpretations. So here we have the Fool. Here we have the Magician. I love the red here. And we have hanging from the tree the 4 elements. We have the white flowers below. Everything is needed is hanging from your tree. But it's just gorgeous. The colors are so vibrant. Look at the High Priestess. I mean, look at the stone with that. I love this High Priestess. She's got pomegranates in her roots. She's sitting on a crescent moon. We have the black and the white pillars of severity and mercy. It's just a beautiful High Priestess. It looks like a water, even though it's kind of sky, but you can get the feeling of water there as well. It's just beautifully done. Look at the Empress. Abundance. Abundance of apples, right? I mean, it's just fantastic how much you can evoke with just a single tree. And then the Empress standing so strong and so sturdy. The mountains in the background. Its subjects here in front of it. Order is on across the land. I mean, it's just beautiful. Here we have the Hierophant. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is. This big, old, gnarly tree that has so much wisdom to impart. You know, you would have to some degree, I think, know what the Hierophant is or even the Emperor. Like, I do think you're going to have some degree of working knowledge because these are just trees. But if you know that this is the Hierophant, it just evokes a feeling of the Hierophant for me. Here we have the lovers. I mean, there's two entwined trees. What's not to love about that? And it even makes a heart in the middle. I just think it's gorgeous. The chariot, the wind blowing, the tree branches moving, the leaves going off and following the call of the wind. Yeah, it's a chariot. You can feel movement even though obviously a tree's not going to get up and walk. I love the strength card, holding on to the side of a cliff. I mean, that's just gorgeous. That says strength. Digging deep, digging into your own internal self and holding fast and accepting and holding on to all of your inner bits, the good, the bad, the ugly, the broken bits. All of it is being, and just getting in there, digging and holding on strong. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Love it. Love it. Look at the Hermit. He looks like he's going off, doesn't he? It looks like he might be getting ready to take a step. But either way, he's up in the mountains. He's got his lanterns. He's shining a light. There's not trees around him. There's that sense of solitude there. It's just gorgeous. I don't know. I mean, how many times can I say gorgeous? The Wheel of the Year, I love. We've got the 4 seasons. Perfect. Justice, look, we've got the 2 trees. This tree doesn't have a whole lot of foliage going on, and this one does. But it's just Justice weighing the scales. The inverted tree whose roots are up in the ground, and its its leaves are down, facing downward, gaining new perspective. I think there's a sense of vulnerability that's there in order to get that perspective. So. Here we have the Death card, of course. It's the tree he's cut down. But, you know, like the poem is about the cut down tree, somebody's going to come and sit on that stump and make this into a boat to go off on a journey or build it into a house. So there is that. I love these backgrounds. You know, there is use and there is a new life for this wood. Even after, you know, even if it never gets taken by humans, it can be turned into homes for animals and things of that nature. And so we do get that. And it would be neat if there was something growing out of the stumps, that sort of sense of regrowth right away showing up there. But I think that this works. Temperance, look at that. The sun and the water, and it's the big combination of both, the sun giving to the leaves and the roots pulling the water up, and it takes a combination of both for this tree to be in balance and getting nutrition and growth. The devil, we have the chained and shackled tree. Now, I wish that these shackles were a little more loosely bound, but you get the idea of that idea of being chained, and so it certainly works for the devil card. Love the tower, love the stylized clouds, love the stylized waves. It kind of reminds me of the Hezekiah's tarot and that sort of stylized swirls. Different art, you know, different look altogether, but I really like that. I think it's gorgeous. The star. I mean, what else? It's the star. It's gorgeous. Look at the moon. How beautiful is that? It's just beautiful. Again, I do think, you know, you're going to need to know some degree, but, you know, if you have a basic tarot book or you have the book or the app for the meanings, I mean, I think these are very easy to read with a basic understanding of what the cards mean. The sun looks happy. We even have the sunflowers there. I quite like the sun card. There's no people in the sun card. There's no naked babies in the horse. It's just a beautiful tree and sunshine and sunflowers. And judgment, how perfect is that? Look at the acorn. The acorn has split open and is starting to grow. Perfect. Perfect. And then the world. That's probably one of my favorite world cards because I don't really like a whole lot of world cards, and I really love that one. The colors are just so very vibrant. Love it. Here we have, so then we come to the suits. So let me zoom out just a little bit because you know I like to show all of the suits. People are like, why do you have to do that? Because I like to see if you can see any kind of, you can definitely see a color theme. So here are the swords. Here is the wands, because I have these out of order, obviously, from what they have for seasons, but because this is just how I do them. But look at the color. It's very clearly a wand color, or a sword color scheme. Here we have the cups, a kind of light green, because this is, I want to say, what did they say? Spring, and then summer, and then fall with the multicolors of the fall leaves. And, whoops. We're not going to be able to fit it in. And then the winter for the pentacles. So you can definitely see it, then that's the regeneration. I really do like decks where you can see very clear colors, so that if you do a larger spread, it's really easy to pop out and see the energy of the spread. So I quite like that, but I have these obviously out of order because it's just how I do things. It's just the way I do it. Zoom back in here. And I will try to go a little quicker here. Here we have the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands. We have 2 trees there. Again, these are a little more pippish, so I do think that you have to have some degree of knowledge about what the meanings of the cards, because you're not, either you're going to use numerology with the elements like you would with any other pip deck, or you're going to just need to know the cards. So in the wands, it's the trees themselves. So we have 2 trees, we have 3 trees kind of, but you can still see we've got the river and it's kind of waiting for something to come to it. But I still think you'd need to know. There very much are a pip deck. I like that. However, that some people do not like that style. I really do like them. It's again just understanding, knowing the cards themselves. If you're comfortable with Rider-Waite-Smith meetings, you can apply it, or using numerology with the elements and apply there. Look at the 5 of Wands. See, this is what I'm saying. This is 5 trees, but it's quite clear there's discord here. We can see the difference between the stability of the 4 and the disruption of the 5. 6 of Wands. We have 6 branches here. The 7 of Wands. Look at that with the houses here. Yeah, so this is an actual logging town. And so they are taking a stand against this logging time and stopping, you shall not pass kind of feeling, right? 8 of Wands. You still get that sense of movement and the shooting wands across like you see in a traditional card. But it's definitely a pip deck, and I quite like that. 9 of Wands here. It's been burdened by a fallen dead tree, but it still continues to grow. It's about perseverance and stamina. Even though it's being bent by the weight of this dead tree, it's still growing. It's growing up into the sunlight. I quite like that. We have the 10 of Wands. Look at that still. Again, same sort of idea. We've got a seedling that's growing upward, but its color isn't really good. It's got too much weight over the top of it. We just normally see the 10 of Wands with all the weighting down. This kind of, all this weight here is keeping it from growing as much as it could. So, yep, beautiful. Here we have the Page of Wands, looking young and springy looking. The Knight of Wands off on its journey. The beautiful Queen of Wands with the cat. That's the first animal I think we've seen. And then the King of Wands, looking very like an old redwood tree. Gorgeous. Then we come to the swords, so this is Wands, which would be summertime. This would be fall, and you get these bright fall colors here. Ace of Swords, I mean, not necessarily realistic, although we see pretty much all those colors in northern United States. 2 of Swords, look at that, hampered by needing to make a decision. 3 of Swords, pretty clear what's going on there. 4 of Swords, looks taking a rest on the swords. The 5 of Swords, we definitely see the discord. Again, a disruption, not good things happening. So even though it's a pip, you get the energy of the card. The Six of Swords, it's time to go. The Seven of Swords. Now again here, I wouldn't necessarily, I would have to know what the meaning of the Seven of Swords is. Let's see what they say. Because obviously involves cunning, trickery, deceit, or indecision. Seven swords are stuck along the hillside underneath a windswept tree in fall colors. The wind blows fiercely. So yeah, you know, you're not going to really get the meaning of this card unless you know it. Again, it's a pip deck. That's going to be the case. But we've got, you know, you've got a great guidebook and or app for it. And again, if you already have a comfortable knowing of the cards, it's just, you know, it's like the Wild Unknown, and that it's a pip deck with the emotional overtone, you know, you're able to see within the card itself. Here we have the Eight of Swords, giving that traditional bound imagery with the swords on either side. The very difficult Nine of Swords, weighted down by these clouds and despair, not in a good place. And then we have the bloody Ten of Swords in the tree. You know, I could have done without the blood here. It's a tree. It doesn't have blood. Same thing with the Three of Swords, but, you know, it gets the message across. It's very, obviously very Rider-Waite-Smith based. Love the Page of Swords. It looks energetic. Look at the Knight of Swords. It's active looking. The Queen of Swords and the King of Swords with the sword in the stone. How perfect is that? Then we have the gorgeous Ace of Cups. I love this. Two of Cups. You can see that traditional union and two people with the cups in there. Three of Cups. Celebrating together. Four of Cups. I quite like this. There's no sense of stagnation here. It's just four cups. It's pips. You can read it how you like. I like that. Five of Cups. Very clear. She's lost branches and cups. But we've got one sturdy there. So very traditional pip style. Six Cups. Overflowing with possibilities here. Seven of Cups, all the different trees. I think that's so cute. Love this Eight of Cups. Time to go off. It's beautiful. This one's kind of strange because it's got the Nine of Cups, but it's got this human figure here. I don't particularly love that. Again, it's not anything horrible, but it's not my favorite because we haven't had really any human forms other than the fact that obviously humans are going to have cups and swords, but the Nine of Cups is the Nine of Cups has root. Yeah, there's a little bit of a typo error here, but the Nine of Cups has roots are adorned with spring flowers, and she holds 9 goblets in her branches. Her wishes are fulfilled, and she is at peace. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I just don't particularly like that this tree form looks like a woman. To me, it's a little bit awkward. But hey, I love the rest of the deck, and it's not horrible at all. I'm just pointing that out. Ten of Cups is fantastic. Look at the Page of Cups by the waterfall. The Knight of Cups. I love the motion in the Knights. The beautiful Queen of Cups. And the King of Cups. And then we get to the Pentacles, which is going to be wintry scenes. So we have a single, you know, Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. These are much more pip-like. Three of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. You can see that gloomy despair here. So you can see a little bit there. Up to this, it's been very pip-like. Six of Pentacles, so we have some squirrels here, so sharing of resources. Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles in the roots, I love that. 10 of Pentacles, abundance. Look at that, how cute is that? The Page of Pentacles, I really like the pages. The Knight of Pentacles, we have the Path. Whoops. Queen of Pentacles, nurturing, you know, protecting here. And then we have the old, thick-rooted, thick-trunked King of Pentacles. And there we have it. So yeah, it's definitely a pip deck, which to me is a plus. I'm quite, and of course then we have the regeneration card here. I quite like pip decks. I've been on the hunt for pip decks, and so this is great for me because I love the size. I have recently gotten the Morgan Greer in a tin with a small size, which is great for some of these bigger spreads. I don't have just a straight up playing card size tarot deck, I don't think. Mind, Body, Spirit. Mind, Body, and Spirit, which I've been doing a bunch of, actually, a different format than this. So I'm excited to give this one a try. This over here. Over here, over there. All right. It's definitely getting a little bit late. I started this one a little bit late because I had put it in order to look at it in order. And I thought, oh, I might as well just, you know, go ahead and do this so I can look at them all and look at the guidebook, and then I can just, you know, upload it and use it when I need it. So I have quite a few to do from Mr. Alec, and so I wasn't actually going to do this one because I knew it wasn't being printed, but then when I was able to find it so easily, I decided to go ahead, and plus you can still get the app. So I decided to go ahead and get it. I'll just make note of it in the description so people won't watch and be tempted and not be able to get it. They shuffle really nicely. There is a little bit of a stick because of the gloss. It has that kind of high gloss, shiffer gloss, almost like the Mary L or something. That probably will ease up over time. Oh, and I didn't even make note, but yes, I did immediately blacken the sides. I mean, how could I not? Obviously, I already blackened them. I should have said, I think on my Instagram, you can see it halfway done, but that's bright white. We have black gorgeousness, and, you know, it just, you have to, you have to blacken it. I have to blacken it. You may not have to, but I have to. But it really does shuffle nicely. I think some of that stickiness will go away over time. You can get shuffling powder. I've never tried it. But you can. It feels kind of funny because, you know, it feels like a Lenormand deck, but it's so much thicker. A 3x3. So let's see, make sure you can see. I actually thought there was going to be more. Like, this would be a really good one to do with like the Romney spread because it's nice and small size, so it makes it really compact. This would also be a great one to take with you somewhere because, again, small, it's not going to use up much space. And it's just, it packs a visual wallop with the colorations of the cards. You can really see the wands here. You can see the sword colors here. The Pentacles stands out. And then we've got, you know, our major arcanas here. And so they have you read this. Let's see. This would be the mind, body, spirit. So we look at the mind and we can see that there's resources to be shared because we have all this happiness, right? We have all this perspective to be gained. We have so much to be sharing in our mind. Our mind, I feel like, is overflowing with abundance and happiness and insight to be able to share with other people. So that's wonderful. In the body, we have the Eight of Wands and the Hermit and the Ace of Wands. So I love these two because it's like there's something new to be growing. There's this new creative energy that physically you could physically do something with, but it's time to grasp it is now. And again, we have that concept of teaching others with the Hermit. You're kind of going off to figure things out, but it's not just for introspection. This is in the body. It's time to do something, to actually physically manifest and create something. But it is also because of the Hermit, you're lighting the way to other people. Maybe by your own actions, you are lighting the way for others. So I love that. And then in the Spirit, we have the Nine of Swords. So difficulty, right? Things that could, there are reasons for the Spirit to be really down, to be in a difficult place, but the Queen of Swords says no. You know, I'm going to nurture a place for this mind, to be able, for my mind to be able to flourish and to be able to take these things and use the difficult things that has happened in the past. Life is all about change, and the wheel has changed, and it's time to move forward, and to move forward with compassion and empathy that the Queen of Swords understands because of the difficult things that she's been through. So yeah, so that's that. And then you read it this way as the current state, and it has arrows pointing in this direction. So we have again those difficult things, but now it's time to seize the day, new inspiration and creative things to do and to share with others. So that's kind of currently what's happening. It's time to share these things. We have suggested actions. Queen of Swords. Take the difficult things in the past and use that to your advantage. Use that to be able to move forward strongly, and being able to take and shine a light to other people about happiness. That's what I'm seeing there. I'm doing this obviously very quickly. And a possible outcome is, again, that understanding that the wheels change and the seasons turn. It's part of the cycle of life. You simply need to continue to go through the cycle of life as it spins, taking up new creative pursuits and gaining new perspective as you move forward. I think that's a great possible outcome. So there we have that quick little show of how you would do that, but they just look so gorgeous. I feel like people would really respond to this visually. It's just such a gorgeous deck for colors and boldness. I feel like it would go really well. The other was a 4 card. Now I'm going to change it up a little bit because I would go personally with the past, the current situation, right? And they're kind of doing it, I think, like a tree. The past, the current situation, possible or expected outcome here. And then I would use a suggested action down below. So we have the 4 of Cups, things going well emotionally, and look, we're moving towards the Page of Cups, something new, learning something new about emotions and about relationships. There's a new learning to be had with the Page of Cups, but right now is a time to kind of move forward and stabilize things and work in the physical world. There's a lot of emotions on either side, which are supporting elementally. That's supporting the Knight of Pentacles. So right now it's a time to stabilize and to get some things done in the more mundane world. There'll be time for this in the future. Because look at all the cups. Obviously, I may not have shuffled very well. But again, the Queen of Cups, so what's the next, what's the action to do? It's to create an environment for this new emotional state and this new sense of a possible relationship. Create the environment by, taking care of your everyday life, making your life, living your life to the fullest. And that is going to put you create an environment in which new things can come emotionally. Again, just a little like, okay, how do we do this? And then let's just really quick, I'm not going to read it, but let me just see this in the Romney spread. Yeah, I will definitely be using this deck because, again, it just packs such a wallop here. I do like to do the 3. I think it's 3. Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3. And then you have 1, 2, 3. So you have the recent past there, or the further past, I should say, and then the more recent past here. Then you have the present, a little bit more linear going across. You know, this may be a little bit in the future of the present, because obviously the moments are ticking as you go. I didn't really line these up very well, did I? Sorry about that. And then you have the future. And then you have sort of after this future, that's going to possibly lead, depending on how you deal with that, that's going to be possibly leading to this further in the future. But look at how gorgeous that is. And if I was more careful, like that would be fully in the view screen of my videos, so for doing a reading. So this is definitely a deck that, again, visually packs a wallop. If you can deal with the pips, which I actually, for me, that's a plus, that I think really packs a photo impact, a visual impact. And I think, you know, it evokes the feeling of the cards very, very well. I think it does a good job of being a pip deck that has the feeling. Some of the Pentacles are not so much, because you can see here Ace, 2, 3, I think even 4 didn't really have much other than being pretty much a pip style, but that happens even in the Wild Unknown. And I think that if you're going to use a style deck, you just simply get comfortable with that type of a reading. So as for me, that's really a big plus, because I've been looking for more cards, decks like that. So yes, I do quite love it. So this has been a look at Tarot of the Tree. I don't even think I said, because I'm so rude. This is a look at Tarot of the Trees by Dana O'Driscoll. The artwork and meanings, I think she did the whole thing. I don't see any other person's name. And this is for the 3rd edition from 2015. So yeah, absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Alex, for sending it to me. I will definitely be using it and getting some great use out of this absolutely stunning little deck. So I hope you all have a wonderful day.